Nice to see you, nice to meet you. Hopefully we'll be joined by a few more people shortly. My name's Liz Taylor. I'm the CEO of the Taylor Lynn Corporation, which is a Manchester-based event management company, and I've had it for far too many years to remember. And during lockdown, I set up a consultancy, the Liz Taylor Consultancy, which consults the hospitality industry. I opened my black book, and I did my podcast, and I'm still doing podcast events that made me, and I wrote a book which is for sale over there. So I've done my whole sales spiel now, and now I can introduce my wonderful friend, hilariously funny and extremely talented, Sally Lindsay.
I'm going to put the earphones on because I can't hear anyone.
No,
so.
you won't be able to hear anyone because they're not speaking.
Oh, that's better.
You can hear me.
Yeah, but I can't even hear you with everyone.
Oh.
So I can hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's nice.
And then you speak through the microphone. Have you got that?
Yeah, I've done a microphone before, Liz.
No, you're not. So listen, this is a really informal chat. We're going to throw it out to the audience afterwards. And the reason I was asked to open today, come in ladies, come in.
Come in! Come in!
Oh no, they're walking past. Right then. Something I said.
Oh no, they're not. See?
So I was asked to open today with a celebrity, and that's a bit of a broad...
Church.
Yeah, it's a bit of a broad thing, and I thought, who can I ask who is female, because we're International Women's Day, talented, because there aren't many of us around, and also very, maybe in some respects, a little underestimated. And the route that I'm going with this, Sal, is this. First of all, I don't know, I'm sure you all know, Shelley Unwin.
Yes.
Tell us when you got the part, how you got the part, because that was really the stepping stone, wasn't it, to the start of the career?
Well, the first role I got was in the royal family, to be honest.
Was it?
Yeah. So I'm going to take these off.
I know.
Darling, can I actually just up my mic so I can hear myself? Yeah, oh, that's better. So the first role I had was the royal family, and it was an unknown. They wanted an unknown for the new. The royal family was massive at the time. A lot of you are probably too young to remember, but looking great then. And they wanted an unknown. They asked Kathy Burke to do this particular part, and then she went, "Nah, you want an unknown? I love Kathy." So I was asked to do it. I mean, they auditioned everyone in the world, and I got this part. And that led me to, I was 20, I was late, it was late, I was 24, which is really old in acting terms, you know, because you're supposed to want to do it since 8, and I didn't, I just fell into it at university.
Well, you did, in fairness, you did, because your first thing, and I'm going a bit off kilter here, but the first thing that she did was in St Winifred's School Choir, when you sang Grandma, I Love You, or some shit like that, whatever it was. What was it? Wasn't it?
But it was #1 for 4 weeks in 1980.
Well, yeah, it was great shit.
It's great shit. It was expensive shit. But I didn't get it. I didn't get any money for it. But I was 7. I can't really say that was a stepping stone, but it was good. It was a good experience.
So you got the role in the royal family?
Yeah, and then I did stand-up for a year because I couldn't get arrested. And then they wrote the character of Shelley for me. And they gave me 7-episode trial for Coronation Street. And then that was it. And I just did everything I could with those 7 eps. And it was an amazing time because Coronation Street, obviously I'd grown up with it as a northern girl, and it was the thing to get, really.
And it's very interesting with Coronation Street. Do you watch? I mean, I know some of you are from down south, but I'm assuming you watch.
Oh no, everybody watches Coronation Street. Everybody does.
Does everyone watch Coronation Street? I mean, I remember when Ina Sharples was in it, and it was black and white. That's how old I am. And that cat on the hot tin roof. The thing that I think is that if you make the break from it, if it's used as a stepping stone,
yeah,
it's a great platform for a lot of people to acknowledge their talents and develop their talents.
I think it's the only show really I think you can have. I mean, when I was in it, we were getting 14 million viewers on a normal night. I mean, it was back in the old days where, you know, the share of viewing figures was just stupid. So I was in it for 5 years, which, you know, it seems like people still think I'm in it, you know. It was crazy. You know, if I'm filming anything on the street, they go, "Are you filming Carrie?" And I go, "No, I left sort of 16 years ago." I left. not started. You know, it started in 2001 and left in 2006, I think, start of 2006. But, you know, it was an amazing
it
time.
was on Corrie that you met the likes of Kate Kelly, Catherine Kelly.
Well, it was Saran Jones.
Saran Jones was
yeah.
your best friend, which I was coming to if you just give me the chance to finish the sentence.
Sorry.
I was coming to Saran Jones. And as we all know...
Never liked her.
She means me, not Saran. But what interests me is the writing.
Yes.
Because not a lot of people, I think, know what you've written.
No.
And I want you to share with us today what you've written and why. What inspired you to write it?
So when me and Saran were in Coronation Street together, so she was a character called Karen, I was Shelley. So we were the Elsie Tanner and Bet Lynch kind of standard, you know, and it was really working. And I think that's why we were such good friends, because we were just in all the bloody time. So it was fortunate that we turned into good friends. So we wrote a thing called Scott and Bailey together. And I don't know if you've heard of that. It was a cop show, and I based it on my love of Cagney and Lacey, which I grew up with because my mum was obsessed with it. And we built, because I was annoyed that there was no really big female roles. You know, you got the odd one, like Prime Suspects. It was odd. It was the odd one. I'll tell you something. There's a door you'll never be able to go back through, ladies and gentlemen. Look at any poster on the tube or anything. You will see 5 men, you'll see 1 person of colour, and you'll see 1 woman. And that is our business. And I was determined to change that, because I'm sick of it. I'm sick of, I think about the tube, I call it the tube complex. So you go in the tube and you see every single race, colour, that's our life, that's who we are. And why is that not reflected on the television? It drives me insane.
And do you think that's still relevant now?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm trying to change it, but I'm one company and I'm one person and I'm one scriptwriter. But, you know, for example, there's only, for mainstream television, unfortunately I'm one of them, but there's only 14% of mainstream television dramas written by women. 14. 50% of soaps are written by women. We're allowed to do that, apparently, which is the hardest job ever. But mainstream television, Saturday night, Saturday, 8 o'clock, 14%.
And is that what inspired you to set up your own production company?
What pissed me off was when Saran was doing a thing called Vincent with Ray Winston. And she was just like, I'm just running through streets, answering to him, you know, with a gun. She said, I don't know why that's when we created Scott and Bailey. And unfortunately, I couldn't do it because I was pregnant with my boys. And Leslie did it, you know, I don't know if you've heard of her. Leslie Sharp, I don't know if you've heard of her. No, but she was amazing. So they carried the show on, but yeah, we created it. And it took us 6 years to get that show filmed, to get it, because they were going, well, where's the male lead? Because everybody assumes that women want to see a big, you know, a fit bloke. They don't. Women want to see women. And women want to see women who look like them. That's what people, you know, and now it's happening. It is happening. But, I mean, I was a tiny change of that, but...
And the award, now, I'm right in thinking, have you just won an award with the production company?
I have, and that
Just explain what...
I am. So I started, Caroline Roberts-Cherry, who's my business partner, we started a company 3 years ago. And I didn't really want to start it because I was like, oh, well, you know, I'm just an actor. I'm just this. I write a few things. But actually, it's changed my life. I did a documentary about Emmeline Pankhurst, and she, finding out about her and the inspiration she was, changed everything with me. I just went, of course I can do this. Of course I can, you know. So we set a company up, and in the first 2.5 years, we've got 2 returning dramas. One is a brilliant kids show called The World According to Grandpa, and it's massively diverse and it's brilliantly informative. So you know Don Warrington, the amazing actor Don Warrington. So he's the grandpa, and he talks to his grandkids on the couch, and there's a little rabbit, and I'm the voice of the rabbit, and she's a female. So that's another thing we discovered in children's drama. 80% of the protagonists are little boys. It's mad, honestly. When you look at it now, it's a door you can't go back through. So we needed the lead, this little rabbit, to be, you know, I do the voice of it. Anyway, we just won a broadcast award, which is quite amazing, and we're up for an RTS award now for it. So that's our thing. And then I've written a thing called Madame Blanc.
So let me get on. Has anyone seen Madame Blanc? No, you've got. Oh, well, you've got to watch it because it's brilliant. It's brilliant. She plays the character of Mrs. White, which is interesting because that's her married name. Because I know, because I did the wedding for them 9 years ago, not far from here. That's how Sally and I became so close. I'm still doing her favours. I said to her at the time, "You can have anything I want, Sally." So, and that was exactly how we did the wedding, and it was magnificent.
The only thing I changed, I went, "I don't want purple lights. Can I have normal lights?"
She had it anyway. She didn't know. It was beautiful. It was a Christmas wedding, but
it was amazing.
It was, and of course,
people met. Saran met her husband at my wedding. That's how. I mean, it was amazing. It was magical.
And so, where am I going with this?
You said Madame Blanc.
Oh yeah, so Madame Blanc. If you've not watched it, watch it. It's very, very funny. And what I love about it is that knowing you is that. There's always quite a strong message in what you write, but there's a humour. There's that very dry humour, and if you blink, you miss it. So you've really got to watch it, and then you think, actually, that was really hilarious. You know, it's sort of taking I don't know, it's just the way that you combine the script and the characters and the people and what have you. And I'm still waiting for you to run off with the guy.
No, I know, that's it. It's Willy won't there's moonlighting, isn't it?
Well, you will. You have
to. We get off with each other, it's over, isn't it?
So, and that was set, where did that come from?
So that was, so basically Madame Blanc is about a very clever antiques dealer, but it's a very normal northern woman called Jean, I play, and she finds out that her husband has had a double life in this little town in the south of France. So she has to go there because he's sold everything, there's nowhere else for her to live. So she becomes, and it becomes like a murder mystery kind of thing in this beautiful little town in south of France. And it came from an idea where I got, I was in Mallorca, we got to go to Mallorca most years before the pandemic. And there was a brilliant woman called Jan, and she was third generation in Mill Hill in an antique shop. And she was so clever and so informative, but really funny. And I was like, oh, she's amazing. And she told me that, oh, what we do is we get our vans, everyone around Europe, and we drive to the south of France, and we basically swap our shit. So what's tat in Italy, we love, and what's tat in England, the Italians love. So they just swap all theirs. It's business, you'd love it. It's complete business. And they all have these, and they all get hammered in these towns in the south of France, swap all their nonsense, come home, sell it. I was like, oh, that's an idea, isn't it? And it was brewing in my head for about 3 years. And then I did a thing called Cold Call for Channel 5, and it did really, really well about scamming. And Channel 5 said, look, what do you want to do next? And I went, I've got this idea about this antiques dealer. And they went, what, Lovejoy? And I went, yeah, but me. Let me write it. So I was filming Still Open All Hours at the time. And because me and Vegas weren't a big part in it. We had lots of time to, you know, I was in Pinewood with it on a desk. So I just wrote Madame Blanc. I just wrote the whole idea. And Vegas wrote his camping show.
And that's when I said to you at the very beginning, she's underestimated. That is what I mean, because there's not many people that can sit at a typewriter and write a whole series and then get it past. And I mean,
well, I wrote it with a friend, but I wrote the idea. Yeah,
next you'll be telling me you wrote it on toilet paper while you're on the toilet. Be one of them things.
I am a bit like that, though. If I got an idea, I'll write anywhere.
Anyway, so listen. So so we're all in the hospitality industry, one way or another. And we've all been through the worst time ever.
I can't believe how you're all still here. It's so exciting to see.
Swanning around the country.
I've never stopped working.
In posh hotels, posh houses. I want you to tell us, from your perspective, what your perception. I mean, I know that the posh sleepovers was the most recent.
Same thing, though.
But the only reason I want to know about the hotels is because as you know, I've got a bit of a crush on Nigel Havers, but he's swiped right, so he's not going there. But I want to understand your perception of we work in hotels all the time, and we go in and...
What's the difference?
Yeah, what's the difference? What do you think?
It's all about personality. It's all about having that kind of, look, I'll do anything for you, but I'll leave you alone. That's the thing. There was the best hotel I've ever stayed in. Is it all right to say this?
Yes.
Called Ballyfin in Ireland. Have you heard of it?
I've not heard of it.
It's untrue.
Why is
have
it
you heard
so
of it?
good?
Somebody's at right. So what? So essentially, it's this amazing Georgian house, and it wasn't destroyed in the potato famine. It wasn't like, you know, wrecked, because obviously that happened. So a lot of the houses in Ireland were wrecked because of the horror of what happened, and it wasn't. And it's been restored by this couple. They are millionaires, don't get me wrong, and they put all their art there, but they've employed all the local family round in a place called Ballyfin. It's just about an hour from Dublin, and essentially you are the most important person there. That's it, and you can get anything you want. And
How many bedrooms has it got?
It's only got 9 bedrooms, and they're all completely individual. They're all completely for what I know that can't happen all the time, but in my experience of going, and I'm not in the industry, but in my experience in going to people's houses and people's hotels, the ones that work are the ones that have your interests at heart, but also leave you alone.
And we know that, don't we? You know, you get... I stayed last night at the Intercontinental. I'm just name dropping here, girls, because premiering days have gone. And the stayed, first of all, it was very not geographically challenging because it was over the water. But it was interesting because I got there at 8:15 and there was a young man on the reception to check me in. He had a face like a slapped arse. I had a whole work day, a whole day doing International Women's Day, and I'm like tired, and he was just so grumpy and so rude. And in that instant, you know,
It's literally that, yeah.
And all of a sudden, you don't like the hotel. You've got the hump before you've got up to the bedroom.
It's nothing to do with the bedding, no, it doesn't matter.
And when you did the thing, did you do all the other jobs? Did you go behind the scenes?
Yeah. And basically,
Didn't you make beds?
Yeah, I did everything. I mean, I did that when I was a kid anyway.
Did you? Because
yeah, I used to work in.
Sheet when I had to make a
Pardon?
bed. They had to give me an instruction manual. When I had
Oh no, I used to do that when I worked behind. When I was training to act, I did everything. But it's about being welcoming, because essentially it's a home from home, and the hotels I stayed in that worked. So we did the Berkeley Hotel, amazing. The Langham. It's nice, but it was a bit corporate, and the amount of money you're spending there, like we stayed in a suite that was 25 grand a night, and we're like, yeah. Whereas the Berkeley couldn't do enough for, it was just different. It was just.
And when you did
it's mad. It's just all about, well, you're right, about someone there going, what can I do for you? Thank you very much. And I know it's hard, you're working 12-hour shift, but having those people, not everybody can do that. Not everyone can do your job. It's really, really difficult.
And it's the same with events, yourself.
No, it's difficult. Not everyone can do it. It's about personality. It's about, it's a show. It's like, whatever you feel like. Like, for example, when we won the award, the Broadcast Award, they've got this thing in the Grosvenor, the JW Grosvenor.
Yeah.
Where you can only tap and go to your floor now because of COVID. Nobody told me that. So I'm trying to go to my business partner's floor, and I'm going up and down in the lift. And this is before I've had a drink. So I'm going, am I going mad? I had my keys changed twice. Nobody told me that in the bloody Grosvenor. And I'm like,
and
what
it's
is
the
that?
attention to detail.
£400 a night. And I'm
that's
going,
what you remember about the hotel.
That's all I remember. I got stuck in the lift in the Grosvenor. That's what I remember. And I don't want to stay. And we're up for another award, and it's the same place, and I don't want to stay there. So I'm going to stay around the corner at the Dorch, like I stay there all the time. But the Dorch, I'm going to stay there because I know there's not a lift thing, because it does my head in. I'm just like, why didn't you tell me that?
Just never mind your lift thing. Let's just move on from that. Just tell me about the posh sleepovers.
Yeah. Are
you allowed to say which one was your favourite and why? Have you watched posh sleepovers? Thank God you've all watched one of the programmes.
No. I've only been on telly 25 years.
Yeah.
So there was Karen from Yorkshire, who I loved.
Why did you love her?
She's so down to earth and brilliant, and she had one idea and she built on it. So she borrowed a little bit of money when she was 19, and she said, Dad, I've got an idea. She's a Geordie, and said, I think barns can be turned into houses. That was her, 19. And she borrowed some money off her dad, did one, sold it to a footballer, that was it. That's it. That's why we've got barn conversions, because of this one woman.
Have you got another series of that coming up?
I think we have, yeah, we did really. I don't know, I assume so. Seema as well. Seema was amazing. She had one idea, just what do people want to wear when they go out? You know, it's all these women with this one idea, which was just fabulous, because I wanted this series to be all women, which it was.
What have you got in the pipeline?
So I'm just writing the second series of Madame Blanc at the moment. And we're wrangling over pennies, as usual. But we should start filming in about 2 months, hopefully.
And anything else?
Well, that's going to be my entire year, Liz. It's quite a big deal. Yeah. So I have to write it, produce it, write it, produce it, and star in it. So it's quite a big deal.
And is it filmed in France?
No, it's filmed in Malta. Yeah, that's another business thing. France was COVID-ridden. So we did the first series in deep COVID, and Gozo is an island off Malta, which looks like anywhere in the southern Mediterranean. It's like a chameleon. It's like an actor itself. It can look like anywhere. So we dressed it up like the South of France, and that's where it's filmed. And the tax breaks are amazing, and they love us. And you drive on the left, and they've got English plugs, and they all speak English. So easy. Easy.
Brilliant, brilliant.
And French people didn't really want us filming a French thing in France, to be fair.
But they're very difficult, the French. I look after a band from France, 22 of them. Can you imagine getting them in and out for the night?
Yeah, but they're great. The actors are great, but yeah, I know.
Do you love what you do?
I always say to my boys, I've got twin boys who are 12 this year. I don't know. And I always say, look, do something that when you get up in the morning, you want to go to work. Because it's not work then, is it? And then you don't get old because you go into something that you love every day. Whatever you do, even if you get no money for it, if you get up in the morning, you go somewhere, and you love your job, it's not a job, is it?
I mean, I'm very lucky because I've loved every single day since 1986.
Well, I love every day of my job. So even the shit days where I don't know whether I'm going to get funding or I didn't get the job or, you know.
If you could write something for somebody, for one actress, not actor, dead or alive, who would it be?
Me, because I get paid.
Great answer. That shut me up then.
Which I did.
So now listen, we're putting out I'm only conscious of time because I know that we've got a really fun packed day here with lots of all weird and wonderful things that are being discussed in the industry, and I could sit here all day and chat to Sally because I think she's hilariously funny and exceptionally talented. But
first time she's ever said that.
Yeah, I'm being nice to her. No, I do, I love you. Questions, ladies and gentlemen. Do we have any questions?
Oh, should I put these on now?
Yeah. Let's...
Oh, look.
Oh, hang on. Somebody's got to ask a question because this is where it gets dead embarrassing.
Anything. I mean...
Thank you for that so
I love
far.
that dress, by the way.
Thank you very much, Dancing Leopard.
Nice.
Just tall birds, so it's great.
Yeah, well, it's like Guru Boutique.
Nice and long.
Just, yeah.
Do you find it hard? Obviously, in your industry, you've got to be your own best promoter. What would you give sort of advice-wise in terms of that? Because sometimes it's a fine line, isn't it, between
for women
promoting yourself, and not actually feeling that you're
we
there
are
being
shit
quite
at it.
cocky or
we're shit at it, and the men I've got really good at it recently, because what happens is you go into a room and I've been in this industry like 25 years. I've been on national TV, 27 years acting. Why wouldn't I know what I'm doing? But you go into a room as a woman, you go, oh, and they'd be like a kid who's like 30, who's going, yeah, and I think this, and you're like, and it's going into a room and going, I know what I'm doing. And it's having that little voice in your head going, you know exactly what you're doing. And when you do that, it's like a door. It's brilliant. It's like that poster I said before. When you look at posters now about it's a door you can't go back through, and you go, what the fuck are you talking about? You know, not in a horrible way. You can be a woman and be fabulous and be, you know, entertaining and lovely. You don't have to be like, you know, Alexis Colby. But no, but you can just put your point over in a way that, like, you really don't. Honestly, I know what I'm talking about.
Did you think that was a moment? Have you got a sort of a specific moment where that kind of penny dropped for you? Was it experience or just having that, or was it a gentle thing?
It was when we were when Caroline, my business partner, asked me to be head of drama for our company and head of scripted, and I went, oh, I'm not sure. I'm a consultant. I'm just an actor. And then when we got together, people kept going, we'll invest this unit. And I was like, why are they investing in me? And I thought, because I know what I'm doing. That's why. I know what I'm doing. And when I went into meetings and said, well, I think this is wrong in the industry. I think we spend too much money on this and we don't spend money on this. We can pare down this and spend more money on this. And I don't know anything about business. I just don't know how to make money at all. But I know what are you doing, you know? But we need more people over. Because I've been there and done it, been on millions of sets, you know, read a million scripts, and I just know it. And that was when I just went, oh, I know. And it was when, I think it was when we were, unfortunately, we didn't get the funding. There was a company called Ingenious, and when Brexit happened, it all went mental. It all just stopped. But they were going to invest a lot, and they wanted me to pitch something. So I did it for Caroline, really, and then I realised, oh, yeah, I know what I'm doing. And then it became easy to me, and it was, like I said, it was a door I can't go back through now. It's very clear about, of course, some things are not going to get made. I mean, we have like 25 dramas on our slate. There's going to be 3 of them made. Hopefully they'll be returning dramas, and that will keep the company going. You can sell it into whatever. That's the idea. But why shouldn't it be my company? Why am I selling it to men, you know, with indies? Why am I doing that when I've got all the talent anyway? And there was another thing as well, where I got to an age where they were saying, well, Sally, we love your idea. Do you want to make contact with Commissioner here? And I'm going, isn't that your job? Because I know everyone and I've grown up with them. You know, so it was just a combination of things. It wasn't really one thing. I just went, oh, it's actually, this is, yeah. It was like, it was basically knowing that you know what you're doing. It was that confidence. It was confidence.
Good.
And I think women are very much lacking in it.
I disagree, actually. I don't think women are lacking in it. But I think what's important is that you play on your strengths. So if you know what your weaknesses are and you know what your strengths are, then it's no crime to play on your strengths. And I know...
No, that's what I mean, though. And we as women go, oh, I bet not. And
but you've got to be
bullshit.
Ballsy.
Yeah, you really have
to.
And it's not even ballsy, it's just knowing what you are and who you are. That's all it is. Was that the longest answer in the world, wasn't it? Sorry.
Quite long.
Sorry.
It was, no, it's interesting, the question, because I find in this industry, there are a lot of egos. We've all got huge egos. We all think we're the best event organisers, best party planners, best everything, you know, and everyone's out there. And
you are, though. You are brilliant.
I know, but there aren't a lot of us. But there is an undercurrent. And it's when I stood up this morning and introduced myself, and I thought about it very carefully, because whatever you might see behind the mask, there is still that person that feels, have I got the confidence to actually say, well, I've got a business and a podcast and a book, but I have now because I've done it. And I think that playing on your strengths and having the belief in yourself. Sally is a hugely talented script writer and actor. You know, and yeah, okay, so she can't manage the money, so what, you find somebody else to do it?
I am a producer, but I produce people. Caroline does the money.
Yeah,
so I'm good at producing people and getting...
But you're in your pocket.
I know what I'm good at, yeah.
And it works, and I think that for anyone out there...
And it's finding the right people to work with you as well, which is amazingly important, I think.
We have to shut shop soon because we have a.
I think the Morris dancers are on next, aren't we?
Did you book them? Did you find them in Malta, in Gozo?
I did, yeah. I mean, you can't move in Malta for Morris dancers.
I thought we were going to do
for
Michael Flatley from Ballywhat's-it, that hotel that you found.
Ballyfin.
Ballyfin, anyway, yeah. Anyway,
is there any more questions, or is that? Oh, okay, yes. Hello, oh, I love that top.
Just a quick question. So I'm in leisure travel. I've been selling holidays all around the world for 30 years.
Oh, wow.
What's your favourite getaway from all the pressure and relax?
There's a little village in Majorca called Escapdela,
Yeah.
which is just north of Calvia. And that's where I've been going 15 years. And when I get there, I'd love to be able to afford to buy a house there. Hopefully I will one day. Well, my brother-in-law's got one. And when we go there, I just go.
Yeah.
But I'm obsessed with Malta now and Gozo.
Okay.
Obsessed with Gozo. It's like the island that time forgot. There's no buildings over 3 stories. It's mad.
Yeah.
You know, got so I'm obsessed with Gozo, but yeah, Majorca.
But if you wanted to be the face of whatever you're doing, wherever you're going, there's her and her husband and 2 children plus 2 stepchildren. They're all quite happy to go on a free holiday.
We're smashing. We're great at free holidays.
I have actually got a home in Mallorca.
You haven't? Where?
In Porto's News.
Portonoo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Portonoo.
Yeah. It's lovely. It's a beautiful island. I think
that's my happy place.
Oh, good. That's
I
brilliant.
love Mallorca.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I love it. We've been going there for 20 years.
Fabulous.
Yeah, I know we've got a little community there, and yeah, I should really tip up and buy a house, really, to be honest. But anyway, it's lovely to. Did you want to ask a question, my darling? Yeah, it's lovely to speak to you. By the way, nice top.
I don't like
I know,
hearing my
mad,
own
isn't it? And I'm not
no.
great either. No, I know.
My question basically, as a woman relatively early in her career, I've been trying to practice being my own biggest cheerleader and verbally owning my achievements. What would you say to women in my position that suffer from imposter syndrome from time to time?
You're always going to have the imposter syndrome. You're always going to have that. I still think now, somebody's going to go, all right, fatty, fuck off. I always think everybody's going to say on the screen, but they haven't yet. And it's 25 years, and I think essentially you've got to get over that. I think I put it in a little room at the back of my head. It's always there. It's good to have it, but put it in a room and go into that room and think, you don't know any more than I do. It's a brilliant thing, actually. It was Ricky Gervais, whether you like him or not. When he was flogging The Office, he went, they don't know any more than I do. And it's such a brilliant line, and it's tiny, but they don't. People don't. They think they do, because they're in the same position as you are. And if you remember that, it's like that thing that everyone sat on the toilet. But if you have that, you go into a room and you think, they have no idea. You're just as valid to be there as anybody else. And once that clicks in your head, and I wish I could tell every young woman in the world that your voice and your experiences are more valid, especially for the leisure industry, because essentially women hold the purse strings. It's like on television. I'm making television now for women, because women are the ones who do that. They're the ones who've got the remote control. And it's finally, they're going to need a big, handsome hook. Well, it's nice to have a handsome hook now and again, but essentially it's not important. Male producers always think we need Magic Mike in everything. And we're like, well, we'll watch that for Magic Mike, but actually I want to see a drama about what I can relate to. And that is just such a thing when you click in it and you get it. And so for a young woman who's starting out, just you shout loudest, because they will, and they don't, half the time they don't know what they're saying.
What do you do?
Just noise, and you've got something to say, I don't know if that helps.
That really does.
Okay.
Thank you.
What do you do?
I do international marketing for MASH Media, representing the colours today.
So you work for Liz?
Yes.
Wow. She's ace, isn't she?
She's one of my favourites.
Well, you're going to be fine.
There's definitely a lot of really strong women in MASH. It's a great place to
That's like Liz's company. It's all birds. I mean, it's not that, you know, men, I love men. I'm married to one. He's ace. But, you know, it's just, and these are really strong feminists as well, to be fair. It's not about men and women. It's about being, just having your voice and just, and sometimes you get shouted out. I mean, I've been on Zooms and they're talking to me about my show and they're talking over me. And they, you know, like I've been interviewing producers and I'm going,
like you don't exist,
yeah.
like your chopped liver.
I've not got a word in here. And you're trying to work for me.
Well, you've made up for it now, haven't you?
Thanks.
Because I've not got a word in for the last 45 minutes.
For once.
Sally, we've got to go because we've got another... Thank you. First of all, thank you so much for getting up at 8 o'clock in the morning and coming here today. Thanks so much. Same time next year. Watch.
She slips it in, doesn't she?
Watch Madame Blanc. Watch them all.
Yeah, next time.